Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here in Las Vegas, and it's not very often you get serenaded by a star. We're here at Rock Vault, which is on at the Las Vegas Hilton, which is one of the most legendary casinos here in Vegas, the place where Elvis played, the place of legends, and the place of Doug. How are you?
I'm great. They like to call me here Dougley or Douglington. Douglington.
I like that, Douglington. I think it sounds very, very nice and formal and British.
So that's my Raiding the Rock Vault name is Douglington, or Dougley for short.
I would love to be you for just one day, because here's the facts. I'm a deeply unattractive man, and I have no cool about me. I don't have hair. I have ginger hair, which, let's face it, should be a disability these days. I can't play the guitar. I play the piano, which isn't cool, let's be honest. You've got everything, haven't you? The hair, the guitar.
Well, no, I have one more thing too. I want to tell you, I have a son that has the exact same color hair as you, and he's beautiful. I think you're gorgeous. I think you're amazing.
Well, I've often thought of myself as delicious, but never gorgeous. You know what I mean? What's it like being in this show? I mean, I haven't seen it yet, we should confess. I see the show at 8 o'clock tonight, and I can't wait, because it sounds like a ton of fun, high energy, and the best guys doing what they were born to do. It's not very often that alchemy comes together, is it?
Well, this is the thing. It's a party, and people get crazy. They get naked. Things happen in Vegas that you just don't talk about outside of Vegas. But the cool thing is this is like, now you could go to a concerto and you could listen to Mozart and Beethoven played by the London Philharmonic, say, for example. But in Vegas, you get Howard Leese, Jay Schillen, me, Robin McCauley, and all these guys. The list goes on, and we're playing the classics just the way that the London Philharmonic would play, Chopin.
So many of these songs are anthemic, and they're big and they're huge. What does it take out of you, or is it now just second nature?
Well, we do this show 5 nights a week, and it's like amazing to have this opportunity to play in the same place and have different people come as opposed to being on tour. And the main point that I'm trying to tell you is I forgot your original question, so I'm trying to buy some time.
No, you were ad-libbing beautifully. I would never have known that you had no idea what I'd asked you. Let's move on to the next question, because I can't remember either. I mean, of course, you and Whitesnake go together hand in hand. These are great songs. It's amazing to me that this hasn't been done before. Why hasn't someone else thought of putting together a rock show? Because it's the backbone of America, isn't it?
It is. It's the backbone of the world, I think, is these songs. And half these songs that we're doing are British. And they're... there's American songs, British songs. It's a fun thing. 5 nights a week. It's different every night, because it's just like a game of golf or whatever. You never get it perfect. You're always striving to be better and better, and you're trying new things. And the audience is different every night. But one thing that happens is every night the audience starts singing. They get on their feet. People have a good time, and that's why we keep doing it.
I was here with cousins from Michigan just a few days ago. We stood outside the Coliseum, and I said, isn't it extraordinary that the 4 headliners, 2 of which are English, 2 of which are American, it's so interesting that our tiny little insignificant part of the world has had such great domination of music?
Well, I think that that's why, any place, if Jimi Hendrix went there, that means something was going on. But it was just a time, the big 4, with the exception of Hendrix, were for me British, and well, there's a lot more than 4, because if I'm talking Page, Clapton, Beck, basically the Yardbirds band, and then if you can't leave out Pete Townsend and David Gilmour and all these guys, in the late '60s that were cutting their own path, and then Hendrix too. But Hendrix slept with enough English girls that he would actually be half English probably now. Jimmy, we know what you did, and we're proud of you. It's all good, man.
When I watch people like you perform, the difference between some dope like me trying to be musical and someone like you is that it sort of becomes part of you. I thought this when I saw Brian May the first time. The guitar is an extension of you, isn't it? You somehow sort of embody it. When did that happen? At what point? What morning did you wake up, and how long had you been doing when this felt part of you?
It was one night when I basically fell asleep after a 3-day drunk, and I fell asleep with handcuffs on my guitar neck and my wrist, and I stayed with the guitar, and we made friends and we bonded. But no, seriously, I'll tell you the truth. I'm still learning. I love the guitar. I love to be around it. When I travel, I always take a guitar on my back, and it's you know, it's hard. It hurts your neck and hurts your shoulder to carry it all the time. And airlines are always hassling you about it. But I love to have a guitar with me, and the more the more I'm with it, the better mood I'm in.
Is it like your comfort blanket as well? I noticed you sat here with it today, and I'm going to, if you don't mind, ask you to just do something for us in a bit, because that would be the greatest thrill. Is this where you're most at home?
I'm more at home when I have my guitar with me at home. Then I'm really at home, because that's a good night. You know, have a couple beers and hang with the missus, play guitar. That's what it's all about. That's why I work, is for those moments. But at least when I got my guitar with me, no matter where I am in the world, it kind of feels like I'm with my friend, or a family member.
It's a tough life doing what you do, but it's equally sexy. There's nothing sexy about my life or my career. I can't imagine what it's like to be you or your penis for one day, because the attention you get from your fans is extraordinary.
They are very kind, and fortunately, they keep coming back, and they're having, as long as they have a good time, they keep coming back. As far as my penis being anything other than just like anybody else's, I don't know what to say. I'm lucky that I've got a woman that I'm seeing that is amazing, and so I don't really get around that much anymore. But
let's go back to the day. I mean, that's the phrase, isn't it? Back in the day. I mean, it was as fun as it could be.
Yeah, when you're a teenager and you're playing guitar on the road with friends, it doesn't matter where you're sleeping or how much money you have. You're having fun, and that's really why, we all started playing music, was for fun. It wasn't to get girls or to make a load of money. It is about having fun and feeling like you did something good with your day, and it made you feel good. And that's the thing, like, no matter what is going on with my day, if I'm actually able to create a little riff or something, something that is mine, it makes me feel great. It doesn't matter what the money situation is, or what the if the wife is mad, whatever. I created something, so it's good. But I would just say if when people get an opportunity to come to Vegas, this show it's kick ass. People do not leave disappointed. I guarantee you'll have a good time. So,
what is your take on what you've been taught compared to what you were born with? Have you considered how much sort of natural talent there is, or whether I could play as well as you if I put the hours in that you did? What's your take on that?
My take is it comes really from heart, because my favorite guitar players are not the technicians so much. I mean, I still say, pound for pound, Jimmy Page is for me, and it's not about competition, because it's art, but for me, Jimmy Page, he's got it all. The songs, the riffs, his stylings of lead guitar playing are amazing. So, there's guys that are maybe, Jeff Beck is way more technically accomplished, perhaps, and I love Beck, and I love so much about him, but I think I go with, I equate that to myself, that I really try and put my heart into it. I'm not the most God-gifted guitar player like, Yngwie Malmsteen, or even guys I work with, Red Beach, different people I've worked with, they can not play for 3 days and pick it up and just be blazing. I really have to work on it, and I always have. And I used to teach guitar, and there was a couple kids that were just naturally gifted, but just weren't really into it. But then there'd be other guys that took them a lot longer, but eventually they got there by putting their heart into it. So I think you could do it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Before we go, and before we hear you play, I want to ask you one final question. It's a very serious question. At what point can you not pull off the hair anymore? There's got to be a point where you wake up one morning and say, no, I'm just too old. Right now you're doing it. It's cool. Yeah. But surely you can't be 70 and having this hair, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't think I'll have this hair when I'm 70. But it was in a big way, being in Whitesnake, an image thing, and now representing a band like Whitesnake in this show, I still kind of have that monkey on my back. But if you saw me on a normal day when I'm taking my son to school or whatever, I have no interest in. I have no time for looking good. I don't shave. My hair's in a ponytail, and I'm just a jean and t-shirt guy. So really, it's down to performance, really. And when I'm 70, I don't care if I have any hair. I just want to be playing guitar. Really, that's the main thing.
Before we go, would you be kind enough to indulge me with a little something, something that comes to mind?
Okay, this is a tribute to, okay, so let's talk about Gary Moore. So he had this.
What that teaches me is I have no skill in what I do whatsoever. I sit here chit-chatting and you have talent. Congratulations.
I beg to differ. As myself, Douglington Aldrich, the first, I think you're very talented, and I think it was a great interview, and we will drink many beers tonight and have fun.
Very good. I think Douglington Xavier would be a nice middle name for you. I think that would be perfect. Quentin Aloysius Xavier, perfect. These are the middle names you need.
Those are good. I like it.
Okay. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, brother. Thank you so much. Cheers. Cheers, you guys. See you over here.